Hey, what's going on, everyone? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time. And welcome to another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I speak to a dope sister calling in from California. Her name, Tiana Kocher. Man, this lady is awesome with it. She can sing the phone book if she wanted to. Check out this interview we did right now. What's going on, everybody? MC Andrew Love back on your screen and your speakers one more time with another edition of Let's Chat and Jam. In this episode, I got a sister she's calling in from California at the moment, and she's a pop artist. Man, she sings so well. She's so dope. Oh, I can't wait for you to hear her, man. Without further ado, let me bring you in Tiana Kocher.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Wow, no, thank you for coming through, Tiana. I feel so humbled and blessed today to be in the presence of such talent.
Thank you. I receive.
Yes. I just don't understand why I didn't see you at the Grammys.
One day.
Your songs are so dope. They should be all Grammy Award winning.
One day, for sure. That'll happen. One day.
Well, I believe it. How have you been? And what have you been up to?
I'm good. I just got back to California a couple of days ago, so still kind of adjusting to the time. But so far, so good. I've been able to sleep, kind of normally. I've gotten like 6 to 8 hours of sleep. So I'm good. But yeah, back in California, I was home for a while because, obviously there wasn't really much happening because of COVID here. But now that people are getting vaccinated, things are starting to get back into the flow of things. I was like, let's go back. I'm going to get my vaccine in a week. So we're good. Getting ready to go back to work, back to the studio, back to rehearsal. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
When did you realize you had a passion for music?
I was always inclined to the arts, all mediums of art, actually. It wasn't just always music as a kid. I went to musical theater camps. I also studied musical theater. I have an associate's degree, so singing, dancing, acting. But as a kid, I was also very crafty. I would paint a lot. I would draw a lot. I was also very much so into photography that I, in high school, was the person that would take all like the team photos and stuff like that. So I've always had a natural inclination to the arts as a kid because my parents just kind of chucked me into so many things growing up to see if something stuck. And arts, that arts was that thing. But it wasn't really until high school where I started taking music and like performing seriously because I was also an athlete. But then I injured myself. I tore my calf muscle. So I was in crutches for like 3 months. And so during that time, I needed to find something to do, obviously in my free time. So I started, singing again and then dancing and then acting. So yeah, it's always been there. I've always known. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, I have to say this. I'm so glad that you have found music, because you are really good at what you do.
Thank you.
Every time I hear one of your songs, I feel the emotion through the speakers. It's ironic. I've never felt that way from an artist. I mean, maybe Whitney Houston, even Britney Spears. I feel her emotion coming through the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't be taught that. That's something you have to actually have inside you. Eventually you can learn how to harness it and use it better, more thorough throughout your years, but nobody can teach you that.
Yeah.
That's a natural gift that you have.
I definitely agree. You have to be born with it, for sure.
And I'm really digging the vibes. I'm a fan of yours. I'm gonna be a fan of yours for the rest of my days.
Thank you.
From a fan standpoint, thank you for making music. God bless you, Tiana Kocher.
Thank you. I receive all that. Thank you.
Who was your greatest influence?
I mean, my parents growing up always had music playing around the house. My dad is a big rock, jazz, soul guy. He even liked country. So he always had Sinatra playing in the speakers, or like even like the Eagles, or just people like that. My dad was he was raised in the 70s, so you can imagine his music taste. And my mom was heavy on the R&B. She loved R&B. She loved like Tamia, Aaliyah, Brandy, Monica. And so, those people ended up becoming like my influences. Like especially when it comes to my writing and the way that I like to vocal produce my music, I always look back to Aaliyah or Monica or SWV or TLC for inspiration, because I honestly think that the 90s and early 2000s R&B is forever going to be unmatched.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that, because not very many young artists like yourselves would go back and say, hey, the 90s, the early 2000s, man, we can't touch that. Not today. Thank you.
They really set the bar. They really did. There was something in the water back then. I don't know what it is, but they really did set the bar. They really did.
Yeah, and you did a song with T-Boz.
And Chili. Mm-hmm.
And Chili.
Mm-hmm.
C.
Yes.
Those guys are amazing. I still
Incredible.
listen to TLC until this day.
Yep.
All their songs touch the heart.
Mm-hmm. It's timeless. It really is. It can go for many more generations, honestly.
When you're not in the music studio making music, or in the front of a camera doing videos, what do you do?
I like to learn. I'm currently studying, I'm currently getting another degree from music business online. I think it's just smart for me as an artist, being independent, to, just have that sort of credibility towards my name, and to also protect me, obviously, when I'm signing contracts and just meeting different people. But I do like to learn. I think that being a perpetual learner keeps you humble, and it keeps you on top of everybody in the game, because, if you don't know who came before you, like, why? When you're walking around in LA, you never know who's going to be behind you, if it's an executive or an A&R. I like to research. I like to, I just pay homage to the people who came before you. And it just really does keep you humble, because if you learn about where they came from, or like what they did to actually help propel their career, you can apply all those things to your career as well.
I think you're one of the coolest artists I've ever met. You're
Thank
so
you.
down to earth. There are a lot of dope artists out there that have great talent. They're not down to earth like you are. And just to know that you're out there and there's some of you out there like that is an amazing thing.
Thank you.
I have a lot of respect for you.
Thank you.
More than I can put words to. You're really a cool person.
Thank you. Yeah, my mom, my dad, they raised me to they bring me back down to earth a lot. So
go out to your parents. Shout out to the parents of Tiana Kocher. I love you guys, man. You did a great job with her, teaching her how to be really respectable and appreciative. That's dope. Thank you. I want to get into your song. It's called Dive. It's on your EP. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so that song is my baby. I mean, well, the entire EP really is. It really is literally what I went through in that time that I was writing it. So it really is a story from start to finish. I started it with Open Season, ended it with Boy Bye, just because that literally is, quite frankly, how the story went. But Dive in particular, we spent 36 hours in the studio making that. I did not go home until it was perfect. I only went home to make sure that my dog was fine, that he still had food and water, and I took him out to pee and all that. But that song is literally my baby. I don't know what it is about that song, but I have the strongest connection to that song. I mean, I definitely connect to the rest of my music, but that song in particular, because I think that the writing is not like any of the other songs, because I co-wrote that with two other songwriters who are also artists as well, who have incredible music out, Alex, Jack, and Merges, and they're both very different styles. Like Alex is very, very R&B. I can kind of compare him to like his sound kind of like an Usher or even like a Mario or Neo. And Merges, she's kind of like an indie pop with like some influence of like R&B, but her tone of her voice is also very different. And so I also draw inspiration from so many things. So, our three brains meshing together and creating that is very unique. So yeah, that's how that song came about. I wanted a song that girls can also, well, I'm not just saying girls, but like anyone that's in like a situationship can relate to. And I feel like that's probably the most relatable out of all the songs in the EP as well. So yeah.
All right, folks, I'm going to tap into the song from Tiana Kocher. It's called Dive. And you can also find us on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Deezer, and therefore, and so on, because there's so many streaming platforms. And if there's streaming going on, I bet you Tiana Kocher is in the middle of it. So let's check this out right now. Without further ado, here's a snippet of Dive. Yo, this is dope, y'all. It's Tiana Kocher, y'all. Tap in. Go on to Spotify, press play. Tiana Kocher, y'all. Oh man, this is making me feel hurt. Whew. That's amazing, Tiana Kocher. You're dope. You want to hear the rest of this? You got to go to Spotify. You got to go listen to it on your own time and press play. Man, Tiana Kocher, that is so dope. And you're right. I can hear the trio of the three of you just putting it together. It's so different. It's not like all the other songs I've heard from you. This is a different type of song.
Yeah, it is.
Good. And it's so mellow. And I love the runs. I love your vocal arrangement in it. I just love the production. Who produced the track?
Lainey Stewart.
Very good job. Shout out. I'm really like enjoying Dive. It's one of your masterpieces that I'm telling you should be all over, plastered on side of buses.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited because I'm filming a music video for that in like 2 months out in Atlanta. So I'm really excited.
Oh, I love Atlanta. Beautiful city.
Mm-hmm.
So tell us some of your experiences you've had since you've been in the entertainment industry.
I mean, I was able to perform at South by Southwest, and I thought that was really fun. That was my first music festival. So I was really excited to perform at my first music festival. And I love the South. I'd go to the South. Like if I had the chance, I'd go to the South right now. Like I love it. Like I love Texas. I love like Tennessee, Georgia, Louisiana. Like I love it there. I also had the wonderful opportunity to open up for A$AP Rocky. He's dope. He's such a great guy. And yeah, just being able to meet really cool people that you end up becoming really close friends with. Like Sage, he quickly became like a mentor to me. Like he's like a big brother to me. Like he's family status at this point. Like he has my mom's number. They chat. Yeah. So yeah, just the friends and the relationships that I've been able to get from just being in the industry and being surrounded by like-minded individuals is, you can't compare.
You got a point on that one. I'm digging the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any advice you could give to the young ones that want to do what you're doing?
A lot. I have a lot. I know that I don't look like every other girl out there. I'm okay with that because I think that you're put on this earth to be different, to be unique. Literally, like nobody has the same DNA. The reason why I do this is really not for fame or for money. It really isn't. I do this because I want to be able to inspire other girls that come from where I come from or that look the way that I look. And I want them to know that, hey, like it's okay. Like you literally can make it without having to fall into society's standards or or just be yourself, and that's okay. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to have is yourself.
Do you have any burning desires?
I'd love to do Coachella at one point. Or Outside Lands or Governor's Ball World Tour. I'd love to do that. I'd love to have a charity concert, actually. And this is something that I've been wanting to do since I started making music. I wanted to have a charity concert where I perform and everybody else that I've collaborated with or friends that I've made just throughout this journey, where we raise money for the Philippines, which is where I was born and raised. Because as many of you know, it's a third world country and it's very, very poverty stricken, and there's a lot of natural disasters that happen every year, typhoons, there's always floods, people always lose their homes, there's always earthquakes, there's volcanic eruptions. So, there's always something going on. And I just want to do whatever I can to give back to where I come from.
That's amazing, Tiana Kocher. You are a special person.
Thank you.
America, it is I, MC Andrew Love. This is Let's Chat and Jam, and this special guest is Tiana Kocher. She's in California at the moment, and she is one of the premier artists, I believe, in 2021. She's the artist that can make you feel every lyric that she delivers. Her vocal ability is unmatched. I really believe this. And I believe that you will feel it too when you press play on Tiana Kocher. Give her a chance. Go on to her Spotify, YouTube, and give her a shot, because when you do, you're going to say this: damn, MC Andrew Love, you did it again. You told me to go follow this lady. You told me to go to her YouTube. You told me to go to her Spotify, and I did, and you're right. She's dope. That's exactly what they're going to say when they press play. Oh, man, I'm so glad you had time to come through. It's really amazing to see you again. You're one of a kind.
Thank you. Thank you.
I remember every meeting we have because you are a superstar. And so meeting you is like memories of a lifetime that I will never get out of my head. And I don't want to miss you when you go on the stage. I got to see your show because I know that you're going to rip the house down. I know you're going to rip the house down when you get on that stage. Because what you do in the studio and in the booth, I know you're going to bring the same energy when you get on that stage in front of me, in front of the rest of the country. You deserve for people to come see you. Spend $50 on a ticket. That's no big deal when it comes to Tiana Kocher. That's a good investment. Telling you folks, she's one of a kind artist, man. One of a lifetime as well. You got to tap into Tiana Kocher, man. She is really good. And you're going to say, MC Andrew Love, how do you know this? Well, because she practices. Tiana Kocher is a hard worker. She's always working on her craft. Always. Never without a doubt do I know that if she's not in the booth, she's in the front of a mirror doing something like this.
It's true. It's true. No, my creator, director, choreographer always gives me homework. And so I am always doing that. It's true.
Oh, yeah, I know, because you're good at what you do, and there's only one of you. That's one thing I love about your music, Tiana, is that you don't sound like anybody else. The only person you sound like is a Tiana Kocher, and that's you. So it's really cool that you sound like yourself. You don't have anybody. I mean, you probably had people you looked up to like TLC and all the other dope artists in the past, but in essence, you've took all the best parts of them, all the good qualities of their voices and their deliveries, and you made it your own. So now you have your own style, your own sound. I'm digging the vibes. I believe that I'm looking at a future Grammy winner. I really believe that.
Thank you. I receive all that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And so far, I want to tell you this, you have now, or you've always have been part of the Let's Chat and Jam fam. So you don't have to wait for me to call you and say, hey, Tiana, come to the show. You can actually hit me up and say, hey, Drew, I got something to talk about. I need to get some shit off my chest. Can I come to your show? And I will put you on the calendar and say, you're locked in. Tiana Kocher, you're one dope artist and you deserve all our respects. I'm talking to everybody in the industry. You guys, don't sleep on Tiana Kocher. She's one dope artist and she's on her way to take her place in the Grammys, all those things. She's about to cash in. And I'm so glad you come through, Tiana Kocher. You're one dope artist and I appreciate your time and I appreciate everything about this interview. And the time has run out, unfortunately, but that's just the way life goes. Time runs out when you have fun.
Ain't that right?
I want you to be safe out there in California.
I will.
Thank you. And everybody else, I want y'all to be safe. Wear a mask, wash your hands, social distance. Peace out, everybody. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you saw, please subscribe to the channel. Also, like and share the content, as well as hit the notification icon so you don't miss A Conversation with series right here on Let's Chat and Jam.